this fucking year, man. It's just been the most trying for me as far as trying to just put up content. I'm not even one of those guys where it's like it's my job and I do it because I need to pay bills or anything. Yep. I don't know if it'll ever come to that for this channel, but right now it's just a hobby, and my hobby is getting its ass kicked by real life bullshit, you know? Not even that, it's just like it's just been a spot of bad luck all year. I mean, I started this year doing Marvel Ultimate Alliance for the PlayStation 3. Couldn't do that anymore because the disc kept locking up or freezing. So, I had to downgrade to the PlayStation 2 version. I was able to successfully do that and continue on. Still, the fact that I had to, derail it cost me maybe well, I did it pretty fast. I mean, I was, back in on there, but it could have, if I got far enough into the game and it did that, I could have easily been alright, well, I gotta do something else for a week or something. Then Digimon, I was gonna keep repeating myself with commentary, and I'm just gonna get angrier and just more frustrated and more upset, and I was like, no, that's not what they want to see. I can't make that. There are people that can be upset and make that kind of funny for some people. I just, right now, I'm kind of, just real frustrated at myself and at the situation, because mostly myself for the last thing where I was trying to do the next LP after Legends, which is what I replaced Digimon with. I had to, give up on something. I was I didn't want to have to do that, but I knew if that was going to stay around forever, and it was never going to get done. So I'm like, alright, I don't like it, but I'm going to give up, and I'm going to sound... Even now I feel like I didn't really want to do it, but I was like, now that it was done, I was able to move on. I played all of Legends. I had fun again. I was like, okay, I'm alright, I'm back now. Let's concentrate on games I know I can play through from start to finish. And then I started with my next LP. I don't want to reveal what it is yet, but it might another disc lockup. It's never done that before previous. This game I actually have played on here before. I don't know if it's because my PlayStation 3 is old or it was the disc itself, but we'll never know now. I got upset and just hit the thing, but I didn't know I hit it that hard to think I mashed the disc drive into the disc itself, so by the time I got it out, I mean, I looked everywhere trying to figure out the thing that would help me get that out, unscrew the thing and then take a Phillips head screwdriver and screw it counterclockwise manually and all this other stuff. All this other stuff I found online. But the thing that worked was the, you unplug it, and then you replug it, and you hold, I think it's hold down, or you mash the fuck out of the eject button so to activate, let's say you get, the really huge fan sound, and you just keep going that, and it's okay, you're in the right so far if that's happening, and you just keep mashing it until the disc finally comes out, and that's how I got it to work finally. Nothing else was working but that, but by then, I couldn't tell by the inside, but the disc was, just about completely scratched on the bottom. And even I tried to test it out by putting it in the disc back into the disc drive. It wasn't going back in. I think I hit the top of it hard enough to... Because I was in the middle of recording, and then, I was doing my test run, and then it's it froze. I'm like, wait, why isn't it going back to the title screen? I'm like, oh shit, it froze. So, reset, do it again. I'm like, alright. And it was working just fine yesterday. The day before, I smashed it. I was like, oh. So, worst of all, it's during one of the few times I actually have a vacation because I don't get that many weeks. But I took this week to try and get a vacation, so I was gonna really start cranking out videos. Well, the idea was was gonna take off for a little while, and then on Wednesday I was gonna start cranking out the videos again and see if I could how much of the next LP I could get up. But I have nothing. I have maybe a part of something that'll go up once I get the PS3, and hopefully a new disc if I can find one. Hopefully. Because I don't want to go back on this LP. I don't know if we're going to go back on two LPs in the year. Especially since I know mostly what I'm doing with this one. But, not a lot happens. Other than that, I've just been really frustrated. I've been trying to keep myself cool by Just playing the hell out of Fantasy Life, getting more the job classes. A lot of them start to work the same way, but just like the places are different, like cooking, the cutting, the carpentry, wood cutting, carpentry to make shit and all that. It's just a lot of... And right now I'm hunter? I'm a hunter, archer kind of guy, so you can use like bow and arrows from far away, so I have a kind of a distance weapon. Kind of shoots in an arc, but still. Actually, no, I'm thinking something else. Sorry, just been a lot of... Other than that, I'm just really gonna talk about Raw and Smackdown, because they were... Like, Battleground, they were okay. Like I said, I liked Battleground, but I only said that compared to the shit that was the first two Battlegrounds that we've had. Like, if you were to compare those to this Battleground, you'd been like, yeah, this was the best Battleground I've seen, which I should have specified that last week, though it wasn't saying a whole lot. If you've seen the first two Battlegrounds like I have, you're just like, ugh. But anyway, Raw opens, and Taker does actually explain his actions. He brings up the streak, saying that, you know what? Streaks are meant to be broken. That's the painful truth. I know a lot of people aren't happy with that. They're still not. Like, anytime that gets brought up, anytime Heyman brings it up, he gets booed. Anytime anybody brings it up, it's like a, ooh, we're not ready for that. It's still fresh in their minds, even though it was like a year and change ago. People still are like, yeah, that sucked then when that happened. Like, we're still angry about it. Yeah, it's a pretty sore subject. Yeah, like streaks are meant to be broken. That's the painful truth. But then, every week you came out here and pretty much reminded everybody of your greatest accomplishment. I'm like, yeah, why shouldn't he? Last night was my true resurrection. You can't kill what won't die. I will challenge your mortality and conquer what has yet to be conquered. And in the end, like all living things, be it man or beast, you will rest in peace. Triple H and Steph already watching this go down, like Taker's about to leave, and they're like, pretty much saying the main event of SummerSlam fell right in their laps. They pretty much say this instead. Triple H is like, you get the ball rolling. I'm gonna call I'm gonna call Heyman. Tell him to tell his client not to show up tonight. We're not gonna jeopardize this thing at all. So, Team Bad on commentary as Charlotte takes on Brie Bella. Cole was insufferable here, calling Tamina Tina and saying that Sasha Banks was jealous of beating Charlotte for the NXT Women's Championship and being part of a heel team that doesn't have go-away heat that the Bellas have right now? Yeah, I'm sure she's mad jilly about that, Cole. Christ. Brie loses via tap out to the figure 8 from Charlotte. Like, it's like a figure 4 leg lock, and then she does the crab walk kind of that Bray Wyatt does. Like, she's like that, but it doesn't do the walk. I don't know how to describe it, but if you've seen it, yeah. Triple H on the phone calling Paul Heyman backstage now, telling him, don't come to Raw tonight, don't bring Lesnar here tonight, Clearly kayfabe, because Triple H kind of stumbles. He sounds a lot like me when I lose my train of thought. He's like, I'm not gonna allow this to erupt tonight, and the whole time Miz is back there trying to get his attention. It's like, you see what Big Show did to me? Hey, hello, you see what he did to me? Triple H is like, hey, grow a set, tell Lesnar not to show up tonight, goodbye. And Miz is like, dude, you hear me right now? Big Show unprovoked, by the way. He's like, unprovoked, by the way. You punched me in the face, and Triple H is like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Join the fucking club. He makes a match for him to face the Big Show. Miz says, no, that's not what I want. I guess I can join that club while you're at it. Hunter's like, you may not want it, but it's happening. So yeah, Miz, there's a match afterward, but I'm just doing this right now. Miz takes a beating and Show wins, naturally. He gets on microphone, starts kicking Miz around. He's like, oh, I've been missing since the Attitude Era. Kicks the Miz. Am I missing now? Boom. Only thing I'm missing is Ryback with my IC title. And he yells at Ryback to come to Tough Enough and try to stop him from taking that title from him then. Why would he be over there? well, you're pushing the show, I guess. You know, like, hey, I'm gonna be on Tough Enough for you to show up. I think Cesaro's this coming week. I don't. At least according to commercials, like I said, I don't watch the show. I guess I can go to a OSW review since they're not really podcasting it. They're just like doing articles for like reviewing or something like that. It's just like written stuff, so I can just look at that later if I want to. Save myself 40 minutes, 45. Not counting commercials. I could probably find that out. Because again, I had another fuck up here where I wrote all of Raw down, and I don't know, either I didn't save it, I didn't look to my, like, where I saved my notes on my notepad, and it was just like, it was gone. I was like, wait, this is last week's, fuck. So I had to rewatch Raw, and then while I was doing Smackdown as well, find both on YouTube, so okay. So I'm like, whew. So I've already lost, like, more hours than I should have watching this. I did have time to watch, like yesterday, I watched, Spoonie One's review of Battleground, and pretty much mirrored most, if not all of what he had to say. I was pretty much right along there with him. Laughing my ass off at the idea of just Undertaker and Kane joining forces to be the brothers of middle management. Would love to see that. Remind me of that new Legacy UMAD, like, Brothers of Destruction. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll find it and I'll leave it in the commentary below so you have something to laugh at. Maybe if I'm boring you with just being like miserable. I'm trying to get back on things. That's what I'm hoping to do with this anyway. But yeah, before the whole Big Show thing, there was like a match in between those segments. It was the Primetime Players versus Los Matadores. Titus is just catching these Matadors, just jump around and fling them around. Even JBL was like, stop jumping at him! Shit! It's like Christian trying to jump off and getting RKO'd for his trouble all over again. I'm like, don't do that! He's established. He's going to catch you and throw you around like a sack of potato. Big dude, just throwing people and then hitting the Monty Brown / Marcus Corvon pounce. I always thought that was a weird move, but for some people can make it work. Like I'd always thought that was his move. Like he just gets this crazy loud, brash newcomer. Like Samoa Joe, what you gonna do with all them cheeseburgers in your hand? Or whatever the fuck he says. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I've seen him. I think he retired and is helping out his family, or I've heard something along those lines. I forget. I don't know what he's doing now. I forget. But anyway, they're having a match. The New Day interrupt and say they have sweet looking jackets going on. By the way, they say we're not out here to hate, but to congratulate, which leaves Titus to get pinned as D Young just stares him down from the outside the ring. But after this match, Triple H and Steph are talking with I had his name on the whatchamacallit. I forgot to write it down, but it's a guy, I guess, who does like artwork for like the WWE or something like that. He's like, can you do it? It's like, wow, that looks pretty good. Can you do this for SummerSlam? You'll have something in time for. Stephanie's like, you got something in mind for you'll have that in time for SummerSlam, Brock and Undertaker. Well, we get that main event going on. Just kind of not really bragging, but can we get that in there? And Triple H is looking over like, hey, is that? And he spots like, Heyman, and then they see him and he's just like standing right there. It's just like, you got me. It's like a newcomer trying to play a Metal Gear Solid game and getting detected immediately. It's just like, fuck. Oh, well, they got me. And Heyman's like, hey, you gave my client the night off. He's not here. He accepts the match. I'm just here to deliver a message on behalf of my client, and I'm gone. Okay? Can I do that? And Hunter's like, yeah, okay, you can do that. He leaves, and Steph's like, yeah, I don't trust him any farther than I can throw him. Hunter's like, that's not far. Yeah. So they know shit's gonna go down. They're business savvy. They're like, Triple H's like, we're gonna need more security. And Steph's like, about half the locker room. And she's like, I personally would have gotten about 20 cops in riot gear with tear gas and tranquilizers ready to bring this fucker down if need be. And trust me, it need be. If you didn't see it, just. But 170 backstage are with about maybe 30 guys, probably more than that. I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50, give or take. just gathered around. You guys need to, like, this main event is gonna happen, and we can't have them jeopardize that. Like, the SummerSlam depends on it. The main event depends on it. Your jobs, pretty much, your livelihoods depend on this main event. For SummerSlam, we're going out without a hitch, and we're not asking, we're telling. And we cut to him in ring saying, like, hey, did my client lose because Seth Rollins out-wrestled him, out-fought him, survived this trip to Suplex City, beat him, pin him, made him submit, or so much as even kick out of an F5? He says no to all these questions, and the crowd's pretty much along with him for this one. My client is not the WWE champ, not because of Seth Rollins, but because of The Undertaker. And it still may upset you fans that Lesnar broke that streak, but it pisses The Undertaker off. So, 469 days, he says this. Fuck if I would have remembered all that in many days, but he's like, 469 days since WrestleMania 30 does he show up and want revenge now. And again, I'm saying he was doubtful that he could do something like that till he beat Bray Wyatt, and then it was like, all right, well, he's gonna have. Well, but then again, he could have done it at that pay-per-view too. But then we wouldn't have had Seth Rollins already win the title. It's complicated. I'm trying to make sense of something that probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense and can't really be explained. Trying to play devil's advocate here, but he's like, my client is not the champ because The Undertaker, he beat the streak, and of course I will brag about that. Who the fuck wouldn't? Triple H, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Batista, Edge, A-listers, a litany of superstars could not do what Brock Lesnar did. And so now a violent retribution must face a most capable avenger. Larger than death, The Undertaker wants revenge for Lesnar taking away what meant most to him, the streak. So, in turn, Taker took Brock's chance at getting back the championship from the man who stole the title from him. Like, something that meant the world to him. So, since Taker wants to make shit personal, I'm going to respond in kind. My client conquered your undefeated streak. You sold your soul to the devil to exact revenge for my client conquering your streak. And you can sell your soul to the devil, but your ass belongs to Brock Lesnar. Awesome line. And immediately, gong. Taker's in the ring with him, and then sure enough, Lesnar is beelining for Taker. And again, you see how fast he came for, like, Rollins at Battleground, like I mentioned, like, he leapt that guardrail. He's just about as fast, if not faster, for beating the Undertaker's ass. And so there's a good 5-10 minutes of this, trying to go back and forth at each other. As soon as Lesnar's run out, commentary's like, yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of here. It's like, yeah. Pretty much in unison, all three guys leave. I think it was like JBL, Byron, and Cole. Cole's like, yeah, like the first one, of course. Cole was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. And JBL's like, I'm right there with you, Michael. Byron's like, yep. So they leave, and so there's no commentary for this at all. So it's just like having Lesnar and Taker just in the midst of going through a battle with about 10 guys. They're just like, they get like the first thing was like security. I'm like, well, that's not going to hold for very long. They're just going to go right through these guys. And he does, and they do. So I don't know if Taker were doing it, but it seemed like Brock was just like throwing everybody out of his way to get to Undertaker. So Hunter empties that locker room of stars, like I mentioned, and when that continues to fail, like a couple of times, they finally get them outside to where cops are waiting with these plastic zip cuffs, I think, for Brock to escort him out of the arena. And even then, I'm thinking, you can break those cuffs.
You can't break those cuffs.
Brock's mad. Even still, Brock's mad enough to just start mouthing off to Taker. Like, I'll kill you, and start telling the cops, like, don't touch me. Like, don't touch me, man. I'll leave. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me, man. You're too close. They didn't say that one. Just, oh man. Even they were like a little like they like okay, we're not gonna touch you. We're just gonna walk you out. Okay, we're just don't make us use these. Jesus. I don't know if they were like carrying actual guns, but oh man. like I said, you should have gotten dudes in full on riot gear. Like this was, it was gonna be like a Pier 6 brawl, and you just do like guys in armed to the gills to like suppress this guy. Like this guy's like that phone call shouldn't have gone to him, and that phone call from Triple H should have been like, yeah, I told this guy not to show up. Brock Lesnar's here, and the cop on the other end's like, Brock Lesnar, you want us to stop him? And he's like, yep. And then he gets off the phone. You cut to the cop, and he's like, yeah, I need like 20 more guys and a attack chopper, something like that. Like, man, oh man, and just in time. As he's getting hauled off, Seth's thrown up backstage. Somehow not in, like, a neck brace after taking 13 suplexes or anything. Like, he's perfectly fine after taking his, like, beating. Like, like I said, he got some kicks in, tried to work the legs, good game plan, but it was still as pretty much, other than that, it was pretty as one-sided as you might think it would be. And he's like, oh, man, they're gone. And Triple H's like, yeah, they're gone. Dude. I would have been like, where the fuck were you? Where the hell? Like, just actively questioning it. Because there's rumors maybe of talking about, like, Rollins and Triple H. Like, really? I don't know. Like, does he turn face? Like, is that the Shield thing? I don't know if that would work. Like, he's still, like, really chicken shit heel. And he pulls this off here as well. Like, right here, he's like, oh, they're not here? I'm like, I had a lot to say to those guys. I'll go out there and gloat to those people anyway, because I still got the belt. Luke Harper with Roman Reigns merch? Or Roman Reigns merch? Rowan. Well, I don't know what happened to Eric Rowan. It's just the two of them, so I'm like, He had cool theme music, but they didn't do too much with him. They tried to do something with it and make him like this crazy genius guy who's like a vineyard winemaker, mountain climber, whatever. Just tried to... I applaud the effort, but he still can't wrestle that well. It's not as well as the other two. At least not as popular, I would think. But anyway, he's got like Roman Reigns' like, it's like the Bray Wyatt thing where he has Roman Reigns, like his eyes and mouth are cut out. Luke Harper has that like on the back of his vest. Like, I don't know if they just patched it on or they like it's like glued in, taped on, stitched on the back of his vest he wears. Like he has like a secret hobby or something like that. He's like, I want you to take this picture. Like it's like maybe like Sister Abigail, like maybe they're all like carpenters or builders or something like that back in the day. Like Sister Abigail like built like she was a carpenter, she built the chair, and one of them's like a tailor, and they can like sew that on there. That's my own little headcanon there. I don't know. This makes you think, like, you get, like, at least they have a hobby, like follow the buzzards and just let me sew this on you real quick. Oh, you're gonna look great. You know, they're gonna follow the buzzards because the buzzards is gonna be on your back, so they be able to follow you. Ah, you see what I did there? Ah! At least it's on there somehow. And Bray's like, my family stands beside me because they know I'm more than flesh and blood. I am the revolution that sees Roman Reigns for what he truly is. And you people anointed him. I don't know if the fans anointed him. You know, that's who you're talking to. I guess you'd be talking to backstage. You should be looking behind you like, you people. It might be too inside for someone like Bray Wyatt, all smoke and mirrors. Well, anyway. You people anointed him, so you people will burn with him, Harper says, brick by brick, piece by piece, till there's nothing left of you. Bray's like, we'll continue to fix this mistake. Anyone but you. So apparently so it looks like we're going to get, like I said, for SummerSlam, 2/3 of the Shield versus 2/3 of the Wyatt family. I'm like, okay. I'm okay with that. So Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns. Pretty good match between just two badasses that sadly had to end in disqualification. Roman's on the outside about to kick Harper. Does that drop kick of his. And Bray gets in his way, and he gets like just punched for his trouble. And then he drop kicks Harper. And is about to finish the match, and Bray's like pulls Roman Reigns from the ring to the outside and attacks him for the DQ. Attacking Bray Wyatt, that's fine. But the other way around, no, that's DQ. I guess it works because he's in the match and the other one isn't. I don't know. It's just a little weird. I guess that's how it always worked. Maybe I'm just overthinking shit again. It's possible. Maybe it was always like that. I don't know. But yeah, Ambrose comes out to even things up post-match, but not before. It seems like the Wyatts are just... They toss Ambrose into the announce table, and they pretty much leave him for dead. Like, okay, he's done. Let's go 2-on-1 Roman for a while. And then it's like, oh shit, right? Ambrose came back in and just rallies in and chases off the family. So yeah, I can look forward to like 2/3 of the Wyatts and the Shield facing off at SummerSlam. That'll probably be a really good match. While the primetime players do I guess most Matadors will like beat them there. I don't know if they're gonna give the Matadors a title shot. They should. They beat the champs. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do. They might throw New Day in there somewhere if they do that, which they should. I mean, the Matadors is like nothing. It's like dude out of me. Probably a lot of people too, but anyway. Seth is back gloating about how the fans all believed he was going to lose, but they were all wrong! No, nobody gloats about not losing a title and sticking it to the fans like Edge. I'm sorry. Like, he's him just like, you're all wrong! Wrong! The best part, he runs up to this little kid, and Edge does this. There's a little kid, he's enjoying the show, and he gets in his face. He's like, hey, little buddy. Hey, guess what? You know what? When you grow up, you're gonna be wrong! And he's just like he's like temper tantrum like Christian does. I think maybe that's how we got it, but he's just like, he just does it. He's like, wrong. Like, it's like, Curly from the Three Stooges, like running outside, like whoop, 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 like he was just wrong. Just about. I'm sorry. I don't mean to reminisce about somebody who did it like 10 times better, like not even 100 times better. Like, but yeah, he says he's the most underappreciated champion in WWE history. I'm going back to Seth on this. Pretty sure you're not the most underappreciated. CM Punk maybe comes to mind, mostly because he wasn't working the main event. Like, a lot of his early championship matches was like first, second hour. Like, he was like, it was still John Cena at the main event, even if it wasn't for the title or anything. Like, he was still, which was like the beginning of that whole heel turn thing. Like, he wasn't like getting respected at all. Like, he's the champion, but he's pulling like, he's like in just the first hour of Raw. And then there was like and that was still like 3 hours or 2 hours after that. So. Most underappreciated. Again, that's all I can think of. I'm trying to think back. Rey Mysterio, maybe? When he held it and then lost it? And John Cena? Oh no, that might have been a title match. Maybe he had it for a while and then lost it. I'm trying to think. Maybe you people at home can... Well, I say at home like I'm on a fucking TV studio. Trust me, this can't be any more D-list here than fucking YouTube sensation. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Christ. Probably run for the hills. Be like that red monster from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. Just people. So, if any of you people listening can be tell me who's like the most underappreciated WWE champion and that you can possibly think of. Maybe you're thinking a different way I do. Maybe your memory's better than mine. Maybe so. Just curious. So, and I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done any participation in a while because I had that much to ask. I'm just trying to get through. And again, I don't edit as much anymore. That was fun for a while, but then it started taking like... That took longer than talking about the podcast and shit. That was like... It's been like half my weekend on that. I don't want to do it like that anymore. It was fun for a while on it, but it's just... Ooh. It would have been fine if I was just doing this like maybe monthly. I could do it for like a pay-per-view or something like that. That's what I was thinking of doing, but then I'm like, no. There's way too much that goes on. Even if I do just talk about wrestling, there's other things I do talk about. That's why I was like, seemed like a good idea. But anyway, just had a lot to think about, honestly. But anyway, back to Raw. Seth's pretty much gloating, like I said. He has all along Brock's path of destruction, his past finally caught up with him last night, and he should have ran when he had the chance, when he locked eyes with a dead man like I did. You ran and like vanished into thin air. Apparently you took the ref with you. I was thinking like he was going to hide down there and then the match was going to be over, because that ended like really early, I remember counting. Like, wow, that's your show? That's the finish? I thought it was going to be like, is he gone? Like he's going to appear like out from under the ring, or from like the, he's going to be like from like the crowd, like maybe like the third row. He's just like, is he gone? And Brock's just like done. Like he took tombstones, he's done. And Rollins is going to like run in. I'm like, hey, there's still a match going on. I guess they would have made it like if it was like a no DQ or something like that, like no disqualifications. Like if they thought about that, they made this like that's almost how I would have booked it. Like make it no DQ. Like at least give him like he would have something to go on other than a no contesto that he persuaded Lillian to try and get in there. Like he says he still feels robbed last night by both of them. So Lillian get in here and announce that due to disqualification, due to outside, and she's like, by disqualification. And she's like, the winner of the match due to disqualification, because he was the one who got attacked, Brock Lesnar. He's like, due to outside interference, Brock Lesnar. However, still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. And now here comes Cena to gloat now. Although, I gotta admit, he does bring up a lot of good points. A couple here, saying that thanks to Rollins, because due to actions speaking louder than words, Seth Rollins, your actions are making people lose faith in the WWE World title and gain respect for the US title. He's like, yeah. I don't know about that first thing, but definitely that second thing. Like, wow. Like I said, if you said like maybe 6 months, a year ago, we would be the US title would be like this hot commodity. Like, it surpassed the Intercontinental title completely. Just about, like, because Ryback's injured. Like, he's not on anymore. He's got like it was a staph infection in his knee or something, so he couldn't make the event. So I'm like, wow. Yeah, he's right. Shit. Much as I'd loathe to admit that Cena's right about anything, but yeah. And again, if it was a year ago, I'd have been like, what? US title? Pff, nah. It's less than likely than the Intercontinental title, but no, it's, even since Rusev was winning it, it seemed like it mattered more. Like, ever since Rusev, I think that was like about, not a full year ago, but a while. Like, he had that since, like, that was a thing since this March or this year, so he had it for like probably most of last year and a little bit of in this one. Because WrestleMania was like, I think like early April this year. I forget. Sometimes they're like late March. Sometimes there's like an overcarry where it has to be like early April, and then they do another one for April or something like that. I had to make a quick phone call there, but anyway, where was I? Yes, he's pretty much Cena's like, he does bring a good point, but Rollins responds with, you're giving away the title shots to any Joe Schmo that comes up and asks. My opponents actually earned theirs, and you defending that title every week has nothing to do with that title and everything to do with you trying to placate to the fans that can't stand you. So now Rollins, that's one for you, Rollins. I know you don't care whether they love or hate you. Have your open challenge as a champion while I'll still be the champion. And Cena, speaking right back at him with more nuggets of truth, saying the man makes the title, which is what I've always believed. Challenges Rollins to step in the ring with him, but Rollins, of course, leaves, and Cena does his "the champ is here" thing. He doesn't even have a match until like the main event, which I'll get to. Sasha Banks with Naomi makes Paige with Becky Lynch tap out to the bank statement in their tag match. So, in one night, Sasha, the boss, Sailor Boss, if you will, Boss Prism Power, bitches. She makes one of the arguable number one contenders for the WWE Divas title tap. Like, not just beat her, but just made her submit. And that's I think that's what everybody got on arms about. Her not being the leader of the Team Bad, even though she's the boss. I'm like, well, that's true, but she's also NXT, and she was called up and wouldn't have, Again, this is me trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. She should be the leader. But she's coming out to Naomi's team because she's Team Bad. If she's part of a team, fine, but I guess how I would do it is give them their own theme if like they're an actual team, like the Bellas. It's just the Bellas theme anyway. It's just like whatever. Like, mostly because no one cares. I don't. I was thinking that, or maybe like a slow turn that has Sasha break out on her own, where it's just like I did the thing you did, and I'm like I'm the boss. Like I have a title, and what are you doing? It's kind of like how The Rock infighting with the Nation of Domination, like he takes over the Nation of Domination from Farouk. Like there was infighting with that. He's like I'm trying to very jealousy, very back and forth kind of. It's a very subtle way of doing this, and I looked like we were getting a little of that on SmackDown. So hopefully my prayers get answered. I don't know. But again, everyone on Twitter was like, if she's boss, how come she's coming out the Naomi theme? She does get her theme to play when she makes Paige tap out. So I'm like, okay, I guess we can. I'll take it. Lana backstage updating us on Ziggler's condition. Like, he's talking again, no permanent damage, and oh dear God, it's Summer White female. Single Lana cosplayer. I mean, Summer Rae just as Lana. Yeah, it's weird. This took a... She's like, oh, you like it? Lana's just like... Summer's like, I know, speechless, right? I feel smarter, more dangerous. Rusev likes it so much, I don't think I'll keep it. And Rusev looks at her and says, like, you're an angel, and kisses her right in front of Lana, who says, you look tired. You don't look so good. You should probably go home. And he walks up for his big 6-man tag, and Summer slaps Lana in the face and leaves right along with him. So, main event time. Cesaro, Randy Orton, and John Cena versus the team of Rusev, the Money in the Bank winner, Sheamus, and Kevin Owens. And I think the backstage is starting to become convinced of Cesaro, because now he's in there with over 20 title rings between Orton and Cena. It's like Cena, I think Orton's like 11, 12th time, and Cena's like the 15-time world champion, or they call him a 15-time world champion because it's like WWE World back then. Back when they distinguished that, they don't anymore, but anyway. Champion. It's called a brand extension. I hope that comes back, by the way. I was one of the few people that was kind of, and I think a lot of us were like not too keen on that thing, but regarding now with the whole Raw SmackDown thing, but again, that would be tough because you'd either have to take an hour away from Raw, which would be smart, or do the exact opposite. Again, I'm kind of mirroring Spoonie on this one, but I almost feel like they would do like the dumb thing and give SmackDown another hour. I'm like, no, please, don't do this. Like, Raw should... everybody says Raw should be 2 hours. Would probably be a little more enjoyable, because we'd cut down on all the... Well, they gotta do that guest hosting bullshit. They still were doing that for 2 hours. You could write a better show in 2 hours. Come on. You've been doing it for this long. Why... Was Nitro really good when they had 3 hours? No, probably. I don't know. It was the early 90s, back when they were actively feuding with the fucking other company. So they really had to, like, stretch the bar, and they actually had a huge fucking inflated roster to measure with that, because they had, like, their luchadors and their cruiserweights, and then they had their mid-card guys, and then they had their WWE, ex-WWE talent and established superstars that they wanted to use. So I think they had it right when they did it. I think WWE, well, they got good talent. I mean, especially now that they're bringing up NXT guys, but it doesn't really matter if you're not going to let the NXT guys kind of do their thing. Well, at least Neville's starting to get over, which I'll get to, but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Sorry. But yeah, the backstage is like real, like Cesaro's like, he's really starting to get a push again. Cesaro shoves Owen at some point near the end of the match. Cesaro just shoves Owens into Sheamus on the rope, so Sheamus for some reason starts giving Owen shit in the ring for that. He's like, what the fuck did you run into me, fella? And then, so they shoving each other back and forth till Sheamus just clotheslines the fuck out of Owens and he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. So it's 3-2 now. And Sheamus is gone. Rusev getting his bell rung and was... Meanwhile, during this, like, Rusev's on the floor. Like, somehow during this match, he's gotten his bell rung and he's off the apron getting tended to by Summer Rae. She's like, oh, you okay? And it's been for a while, and Owens, like, trying to drag Cesaro to the corner, and he goes in looking for the tag for Rusev, but he's not there. So Cesaro fights him off, but Owens puts a senton on him. Like, he does the standing back senton. He looks over to Rusev getting up, and he's like, oh, now you're ready! And he's just like, tags him in, like, super angry. He's like, get the fuck in here. And so now these two are in each other's places until Owens super kicks Rusev and leaves. So, wow, poor Rusev just gets left all by himself, don't want to be swung, the giant swing by Cesaro into a waiting RKO from Orton for the 3. Cool spot. The video game. Alright, to SmackDown with Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus. Sheamus opens up with the Money in the Bank and the microphone like, you may have the universe fooled, but not me. You fool these people into making them think you're a lunatic, but you're just reckless. Last week in our tag match, you and the Big Show went through the announce table. An act of cowardice trying to avoid a fight with me, but now there's no escape from a good old-fashioned arse-kicking. Ambrose replies is like, yeah, the universe got something right, you know? You do look stupid. Chanting that you look stupid the whole time. So, the match is on. Sheamus with the game plan of going for Ambrose's injured knee. I don't know if it was like during a match or maybe like overall, or if he like landed on something and then started with it or something like that. But Ambrose, of course, doing what he does best and does the face thing and fights despite all of that and trying to rally back until the Wyatts interrupt and distract him long enough to take a bro kick on the outside, get thrown into the ring, and take another one and get pinned. Like, wow. So I guess you are being thrown in here. This confirms, I believe, the 2-on-2, the tag match for SummerSlam. They didn't announce that yet, but they haven't really announced any matches other than Lesnar and Taker because, well, it's your main event right there. They even say it was their main event, even though not even the title's online, but come on, it's Lesnar Taker. Like, that's got to be the main event, title or no title. Okay. Neville gets interviewed backstage after a very comic book-esque vignette. They are really pulling this comic book thing with like the Stardust and Neville. It looks really cool. Like they do the Raw thing where it's like a flashback, but it has like comic book words in there. It's like "Prepare for turbulence" from Stardust. It's like up top and it's like a comic book thing. It's really like it's goofy and cool at the same time. Like it's like both ends of the spectrum, and I'm not sure which to just default under. But I guess we're full speed ahead on this superhero supervillain thing. You're having a superhero supervillain feud, and no Hurricane or even a Gregory Helms involved in any way. What's up with that? But anyway, Neville says Stardust is unlike anyone, or should I say anything, I've ever seen. And Stardust envisions me a superhero, and himself as a supervillain. I say it as a coward that attacked me from behind. But he can't keep down what gravity can't contain. I need to train in the hyperbolic time. 500 times normal gravity! Neville must be a Super Saiyan! He says the Altitude Era is now, and as he leaves, you know how they have their backstage interviews? There's always like the small TV behind them at all times? Probably because they'll be like, here's what happened to you last week. Let's go to the TV and you watch this, and then they come back. I assume that's how it is. Like they always have the small TV behind for like watching matches backstage when they have them on or something like that. The TV, like when they're not doing anything, it's just like the logo of the show, like just Raw or SmackDown's on there. So it's JoJo, by the way. She's eventually all by herself as Neville leaves. She's like, oh, okay. And then the TV starts cutting to static, and then we see Stardust just laughing. So Neville beats a man that booking forgot, Adam Rose. Afterwards, Stardust on the Titantron with like party whistles. He's like, "Oh, hail the conquering hero, the Caped Crusader." I guess he pulls out like a. He must be still doing the thing with the star from Arrow, because he mentions like, even the sharpest arrows, no matter what color, come crashing down. Only stars last eternal. So reach out for my hand, touching your hand. It's almost one of the little dust Well, Dusty Rhodes promo there, only without like the accent. Like, reach out my hand for you, daddy. Feel the love. So he's like, reach out for my hand, touching your, be my hero. Embrace the strange. Sasha Banks vignette showing off why she's the boss and why she aligned herself with Tamina and Naomi, ready to take over the Divas division. Cool stuff. As King Barrett, after defending his crown, however needless that defense was, says, amidst all the hoopla concerning Taker's return, you peasants lost sight of the king of bad news. I guess he still is Bad News Barrett. Kind of. He doesn't do that bad news thing anymore. He does open up with the, can we have some decorum, please? So maybe it's a combination of the two. Hopefully this gets him back on the right track and not jobbing all the time. He's like, I'll beat 3 guys in less than 24 hours to wear this cape and crown. At Battleground, I show what happens to those who mock my accomplishments. You want to hit the king, do it right between the eyes, because you won't get a second chance. And my crowning achievement has yet to come. All hail King Barra! Kevin Owens now in the ring for his match. Starts off saying, ever since my match with Cena, I've heard 3 words. Tap Owens tap. Has anyone ever said that to him? Like in the ring, I don't recall Raw, but then again, I had to lose the whatchamacallit and had to see it on YouTube and trying to get it up as quick as possible. But anyway, I don't think I remember anyone saying that, because, well, some people like Kevin Owens, well, over Cena they will, but now it's like, they probably will. Probably would have if it was like Daniel Bryan did it. Yeah, I would have believed it then. If Daniel Bryan made him tap it, he tapped out to him, he would have been like, yeah, everybody would have been like, you tapped out, you tapped out. So he's like, yeah, tap Owens tap, that's cute, yet inaccurate, because what happened is that I gave Cena the toughest fight of his entire career, so I have no problem looking in the mirror and saying that my outlook is live to fight another day, and that's what I did on Sunday. So chant it all you want, I'm not risking a career-threatening injury. I've got a family to look after. I do what's best for my career in spite of what anyone thinks. Anybody out there, anybody back there. And just like on Monday, I wasn't risking fighting 3 top-notch superstars one man short because Sheamus left us behind. And if Rusev wasn't busy figuring out which Lana to go to second base with, he'd understand that was the right choice to make too. So this incenses Rusev, and that's who he's having a match with. So he's not, obviously not being paid by the hour. He just, like, as soon as that bell rings, I think he doesn't even wait for that. He just, like, right in, like, he's got his hands up, like, ring the, like, his hands are up, like, he does that Rusev stance. He's like, ring the bell, ring the bell. As soon as the bell rings, he's, like, right on top of Owens. And he comes back for most of the match till, Owens does come back for most of the match till Rusev just out-muscles him, and is about to slap on that accolade, and I guess make him tap again, till Owens, like, rolls out and takes that count-out loss. So I'm like, wow, really? You're gonna be this now? You're gonna be, because Seth Rollins is doing it now too, where he's like running from fights and finding ways to make it about him. I'm like, wow, jeez, man. Cesaro backstage interview saying he's been on a roll. Like he's like it's the bargain basement Josh Matthews again. It's like, yeah, you've had quite the momentum got going for you. Let's talk about your match in the main event. He's like, yeah, I've been on a roll. Me pushing Cena to the limit, that's the past. But tonight, I got the WWE Champion, Seth Rollins. And this is exactly where I wanted to be. All the sacrifices, missing a best friend's wedding, spending 11 Christmases without my family. But I wouldn't change a thing because that's how much I love this business. Success doesn't happen overnight. Hard work pays off and the American dream never dies. And Owen, after somehow walking away, decides to get into Cesaro's face. He's like, oh, my family, I missed the wedding. No one cares. He's like, I beat Cena my first night, accomplishing more in that one night than you ever did in your entire career. No one cares about your dreams or how you abandoned your family. And also Cesaro's like, you must be the authority on abandonment. Where'd you even come from? Catering? No, you're back here because you walked away from a match again. No one's just like, catering's where I'm going. To sit back, grab a bite, and watch you lose to Rollins tonight. Cesaro's like, well, don't choke on your food like you choked against Cena last Sunday. Oh. Now go back there and do what you do best. Walk Owens walk. Now that really, man, not helping. I mean, I know he's supposed to be chicken shit heel, but you can have a chicken shit heel with the chicken shit heel, unless that's like the pseudo shield, like they're gonna be a team now or something like that. Maybe that's Nah, it's a little early. It's a little early for because Survivor Series is like November. That's gonna be a while, so I don't know. Again, me overthinking. But anyway, it looks like the Bellas adapted, at least for Nikki rack attacking Naomi to win their tag match against her and Sasha Banks. Brie Bella just getting decimated by both Naomi and Sasha. Almost gonna play this off as a miscue, because there was a thing where Naomi is on the floor and is about to be counted out until, like, Tamina's on the Sasha's on the outside. Sasha drops from the rope where she's about to be, where she has to, the position to hold the tag rope and be tagged in. Like, she drops down. She's like, Tamina, throw her in, throw her back in. We're gonna win this thing. Come on, throw her back in. So that could have. So again, like I was thinking, that's what made me think about, like, maybe could be that slow build where Sasha breaks out from Team Bad and becomes the boss and starts to be like, I want to unify the. They're probably not going to do that, because what the fuck do you do for NXT now? You have no. I guess she'd have to give it up to somebody, like Owens did, and then it's like, but now Owens is like this pussy runaway guy that's just doing things for his family. At least he has an excuse for that, or Seth Rollins is just like, eh. Like, you could both make that argument, I guess, for both of them, but man. I also thought it would be like a thing with that Sasha throwing Tamina into throwing it back to continue the match and have a chance to win it. So she look back and like, why'd you throw me back in? And then like, but no, the finish is a lot cleaner than that. Like, they're back and forth, but kind of bummed the Bellas won, but the commentary was putting it over like they really needed to get this win. So I'm like, okay. Plus, it wasn't over the NXT champion, you know, the only one in that team that actually has a belt. So yeah, she lost, but she's not the one who got pins. And again, trying to put over the Bellas, who lost on the pay-per-view and Raw. So I guess I'm okay with it. And Rollins goes over Cesaro in their main event, but not before surviving just about everything of Cesaro's offense. Like, it was like a really cool, like, I think he went for like the sharpshooter, and Rollins was trying to make for the ropes. And then Cesaro, like, grabs one of Rollins' arms and pins it a little back so he can't reach with that arm. Like, he's savvy with him. He's like, oh, no, you're not getting that. And then he turns it into the crossface. And then I think he turns it to something else before Rollins finally breaks out. He's about to leave with the title. Again, more running away. Cesaro uppercuts him and throws his ass back in, so the ref, you know, he grabs the title. Like, Seth Rollins, he had the title, so he's like, oh, I gotta get the title out of the ring. And while he's doing that, Rollins just thumbs Cesaro's eye, corner powerbomb into the pedigree for the win. And then Owens comes out and pop-up powerbombs him. So I'm thinking Cesaro Owens it, maybe? That'd be kind of cool. That whole promo backstage about the family and the whole abandonment thing earlier, that could have been a good start to a vignette for them. Like, they've been back and forth for a while, too. Like, even on Raw, they were like the whole NXT thing. It's like, oh, you're stupid. You're going to come in here and challenge this guy. It's like, I know I can beat him. If it weren't for you, I would have. So, but yeah. And hopefully I can get back on track this coming week with my LP. But that'll do for the podcast. I feel a little better now, having to just be able to do this. I guess just to say stuff and be able to get it off my chest really helps. So, really appreciate it. Even if you don't watch, it was just, I can't thank you guys enough, and I really appreciate you guys being so patient with me. Because trust me, if you're upset by me losing, because I'm like again, like just like I said, like, it must piss the Undertaker off to lose that shit. It pisses me off to not be able to put stuff out. I can at least do something here with this. So I'm like, all right, at least I'll have something for the weekend. So, but yeah, thanks for listening. Take care.